In 1938, a woman received a phone call from a fisherman. He said he'd pulled something strange out of his net, something she might want to see. When she arrived at the dock and looked at the creature lying there, her hands started shaking. She recognized it, not because she had ever seen one alive, because she had only ever seen one in a fossil drawing. The animal in front of her had been declared extinct for 66 million years. Science was wrong. The ocean had been hiding it the entire time, right under the boats we sailed every single day. That was one animal, one discovery, and it forced every scientist on Earth to ask a question nobody had seriously considered before. If a 66 million-year-old fish could hide from us in plain water, what else is still down there? These are 5 prehistoric animals that science declared gone, and the evidence that says the ocean never let them go. Stay until number 1, because one of them has proof. Number 5. The giant sea snake, August 6, 1817, Gloucester Harbor, Massachusetts. A ship's carpenter named Amos Story was working near the docks when he saw something moving through the harbor that stopped him completely. A long, dark serpentine body cutting through the water. A head the size of a horse's head held above the surface, moving in vertical undulations unlike anything he had seen in decades on the water. Story reported what he saw, and that should have been the end of it. One man, one sighting, easily dismissed. But then more people saw it. Over the following 3 days, more than 200 separate witnesses reported seeing the same creature in Gloucester Harbor. Sea captains with decades of ocean experience, a ship's surgeon, magistrates, fishermen who had worked these waters their entire lives. Their accounts were taken under oath and formally collected by the Linnean Society of New England, one of the oldest scientific organizations in America. Every single account described the same thing. A serpentine body at least 50 feet in length, dark in color, moving in vertical undulations. A head roughly the size of a horse's head above the water. 200 sworn witnesses in broad daylight. Not one group of panicking sailors in the dark. In December 1964, a French photographer named Robert Lerec was boating through Stonehaven Bay off Hook Island, Australia, when his wife spotted something massive on the seafloor. He dove underwater to get a closer look and took several photographs before the creature opened what appeared to be a mouth, and he swam back to the boat. The images he surfaced with show a dark, enormous, tadpole-shaped body, estimated at over 70 feet in length, with 2 pale eyes visible near its head. The photographs have been studied and debated for 60 years, with no definitive scientific explanation. Now, here is where the fossil record enters. 47 million years ago, a species called Poliophis coloceus moved through the ancient oceans. A true marine snake, fully aquatic, reaching up to 40 feet in length. 4 times the size of the largest sea snake alive today. An apex predator that vanished from the fossil record around 30 million years ago. 200 sworn witnesses in 1817. Photographs in 1964 that have never been fully explained. And confirmed fossil evidence that a snake of this scale existed and thrived in these oceans. The deep ocean is the only place large enough to hide something like this, and it remains almost entirely unexplored. Number 4. The megalodon. 1875. The HMS Challenger expedition, the first scientific mission ever mounted to systematically map the ocean floor. The crew was dredging samples from the seafloor in the Pacific when they recovered 2 teeth. Large, triangular, serrated. They immediately recognized what they were: megalodon teeth, the teeth of the largest shark that ever lived. This was not remarkable in itself. Megalodon teeth are found regularly in marine sediment. What was remarkable was the result when those particular teeth were analyzed. They were 10,000 years old. The megalodon is officially listed as having gone extinct 3.6 million years ago. 10,000 years is not 3.6 million. In geological terms, 10,000 years ago is essentially yesterday. It overlaps with the earliest human civilizations. It is the same era as the woolly mammoth, an animal we have found frozen and intact in Siberian permafrost. These 2 teeth have never been fully explained away. The megalodon reached between 50 and 60 feet in length. Its teeth were the size of a human hand. Its bite force was powerful enough to crush a whale's skull. For 20 million years, it was the unchallenged apex predator of every ocean on Earth. The official cause of its extinction was global cooling, which reduced warm water whale populations. But the megalodon was capable of diving to depths and reaching prey in locations that we have never mapped. And an animal that size, in water we have barely explored, following prey we have barely cataloged, would be almost impossible to confirm extinct. For generations, fishermen along the coast of Mexico have reported a creature they call the Black Demon, consistently described at lengths exceeding 50 feet, dark enough to be nearly invisible in the water, moving in ways that no known shark species exhibits. The reports span centuries and come from dozens of independent witnesses, with no connection to each other. Science says the megalodon is gone. 2 teeth from the seafloor, dated to 10,000 years ago, suggest the timeline of its extinction is not as settled as the textbooks claim. Number 3, the plesiosaur, 1965. The United States Navy, submersible Alvin, 5,300 feet below the surface of the North Atlantic. 2 crew members were on a routine research mission in total darkness when they saw something moving outside the viewport that matched nothing in any scientific catalog. Long-necked, 4 flipper-like appendages. A body that both of them, independently, described as resembling illustrations of plesiosaurs from their textbooks. Their report was formally documented. It was not published widely, but it was not dismissed either. These were not adventurers or attention seekers. They were trained United States Navy personnel on a government vessel at 5,300 feet, filing an official report. The plesiosaur dominated the oceans during the age of dinosaurs. Some species reached nearly 40 feet in length, with necks so long they made up more than half of that. They were cold-blooded, slow-moving, deep-diving hunters that could hold their breath for extended periods and spend long stretches away from the surface. They survived for over 150 million years before disappearing from the fossil record 66 million years ago. But the sightings never stopped. For over 1,000 years, something matching the plesiosaur's exact description has been reported in the waters around Scotland, not by one person, not in one generation, but across centuries of independent witnesses describing the same features. Long neck, large body, movement unlike any known animal. During both World Wars, German U-boat crews operating in open ocean submitted separate formal reports of large, unidentified creatures matching the same description. Military personnel, trained observers, reporting through official naval channels. Here is the scientific argument that makes these sightings harder to dismiss. A cold-blooded, slow-moving, deep-diving animal would generate almost no heat signature, produce minimal surface disturbance, and need to surface only rarely. It would be, by its own biology, almost undetectable with any method we currently use. We have not proven the plesiosaur is alive, but we have explored less than 5% of the environment where it would be hiding. Number 2, the Livyatan melvillei, 2008, the Ica Desert of Peru. A paleontologist on a routine field survey notices a large fossil eroding out of a cliff face. When the team excavates it, they realize they are looking at a skull nearly 10 feet long. The skull belongs to a whale, and when they clean the teeth inside it, they are looking at the largest teeth of any animal ever recorded in the history of life on Earth. They name it the Livyatan melvillei, after Livyatan, the biblical sea monster, after Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick. Both names fit. The Livyatan was roughly 57 feet long, but it was not a shark. It was a whale, warm-blooded, highly intelligent, capable of complex behavior, and unlike the modern sperm whale, which only has teeth on its lower jaw, the Livyatan had full dentition on both jaws, 14-inch teeth, top and bottom, built for one specific purpose: hunting other whales. The Livyatan and the megalodon existed at the same time, in the same ancient oceans. They were the 2 apex predators of the Miocene seas. One, a giant shark. One, a giant hunting whale. And then, around 9 million years ago, the Livyatan disappears from the fossil record. Now, consider what modern sperm whales do. They are the Livyatan's closest living relatives. They regularly dive below 3,000 meters. They spend the majority of their lives at depths we have barely mapped. They can stay underwater for up to 90 minutes between surface appearances. They are intelligent enough to change their behavior when encountering something new. A Livyatan descendant adapting to deeper, colder water would be doing exactly this, going deep, surfacing briefly and rarely. in an ocean 80% unexplored. Number 1, the coelacanth, December 1938, East London, South Africa. A museum curator named Marjorie Courtney Latimer receives a phone call from a local fisherman. He has pulled something unusual out of his net, something she might want to see. When she arrives at the dock and looks at the creature lying there, her hands begin to shake. She has seen this animal before, not alive, in fossil drawings, in textbooks, the hollow spines, the lobed paddle-like fins, the specific structure of its scales. She knows exactly what she is looking at. It is a coelacanth, a fish that disappeared from the fossil record 66 million years ago at the same moment as the dinosaurs. A fish that every paleontologist on Earth had listed as extinct for over 6 decades of modern science. And it is sitting in front of her, freshly caught from the Indian Ocean, completely intact. Scientists are notified. Word spreads through the zoology world like a shockwave. The creature is verified, the identification is confirmed, and the entire scientific community is forced to confront something it had never seriously considered. The ocean had been hiding this animal for 66 million years, not in a remote, unmapped trench, in waters that fishing boats worked every single day. And nobody had any idea. 2 living populations have since been discovered, one off the east coast of Africa, one in Indonesian waters, both in deep, cold, dark water. Exactly where we have barely looked. The coelacanth is not a theory. It is not a legend or a whispered story from sailors. It is a confirmed living fossil, a 66 million-year-old fish that was alive and thriving, while human science was absolutely certain it was gone. And here is what that means for every other animal on this list. If a fish can hide from the entire scientific community for 66 million years in waters that humans sail daily, then the deep ocean, the part we have barely explored, the 80% that no instrument has mapped and no human has visited, is a place where almost anything could be alive. The plesiosaur was seen by U.S. Navy personnel at 5,300 feet. The megalodon left teeth on the seafloor dated to 10,000 years ago. The Livyatan's closest relatives dive to 3,000 meters and spend their lives in unmapped water. The giant sea snake was seen by 200 sworn witnesses in broad daylight. We have not proven any of them are still alive, but the coelacanth was not proven alive until it was pulled out of a net. Science declared the coelacanth extinct for 66 million years. It was wrong. More than 80% of the deep ocean has never been explored. Whatever is living down there has had 66 million years to disappear into it. These 5 animals are not confirmed alive, but the ocean has a long history of keeping things that were supposed to be gone, and we have barely started looking in the places where they would be hiding. The question is not whether prehistoric animals are still alive in the deep sea. The question is how many we have been wrong about and for how long. If this story stayed with you, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. The next video on this channel is one you will not want to miss.